Hello everyone, this is the Pressure Prince with more Total War Shogun 2 Fall of the Samurai content. This is Chaos Riders number 1 tournament. Bronze match between Chaos Blade and Oleg Vadimovich. So, what are we gonna get to here? Well, we'll see in just a moment. As hopefully there's no more drilling going around that you can hear. I'm really hoping that you cannot hear the drilling, but hopefully you cannot hear it. Anyway, let's get into the game. Shall we now? Alright, slow motion time. Alright, we got Sir Dojo, farmhouse, and what seems to be a good old workshop. Is something wrong with my graphics? No, I think they're fine. Yeah, they're fine. I don't know, I thought that I was on lower settings for some reason, but graphics look fine, don't they? Anyway, what do we have here for builds wise? Let's go over, say, Chaos Blade first. Yeah, go over Chaos Blade first, definitely. He seems to have his general here, Musashi Miyamoto, who is, looks like command gun most likely, I'm guessing, yeah. Then we have 3 Saber Cav here, looks like 3 Yari keys. 1 is vanilla, 2 are rank 2 with attack upgrades, as you would expect. We do have a revolver cab here that he's hiding in this little forest here. There it is, that good old revolver cab that people absolutely despise. And for good reason as well. Then we do have, looks like a single Marine unit. It's a United States Marines, obviously 150 range. We have some melee on the field as well. Vanilla Yarikachi and the Yarikachi rank 3. Looks like attack upgrades and morale on it. Most likely. Yeah, that's probably what's up there. Then we also have a bunch of red bears. 1, 2, 3, 4 red bears on the field. Now for Oleg Vadimovich, we have his, looks like Bushido general on the field. Cab-wise, we have 2 Yari keys, rank 2 on his left. Again, attack upgrades. Looks like some Saber Cab on the field as well. Vanilla. And this one is rank 2, so some... Actually, not attack upgrades. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one, never mind. Yeah, you see, this is like very confusing over here. Because the guy in the back is... actually has the flag over him, which is wrong. There's something going on over here. Yeah, looks like there's an interesting cav engagement. But yeah, that's his cav over there. Then he does have a Shogun Guard Cavalry rank 6 over here. Oh my goodness. We have a Yariki rank 2 over here capping the Sword Dojo. And in the center over the farmhouse we have the Saber Cav engaging against Yariki rank 2. Now this should be an engagement that if it takes longer... Oleg's got this, because he has supporting Spear Levy coming in. By the way, I should go over his build. So it seems like he has not a single line unit on the field, because he does have Spear Levy with the Yarikachi rank 2 on the left here. So there's that to keep in mind. Then he does have over here a Spear Levy with 2 Shogitai, both vanilla as well. And in the center, a Spear Levy with a Yarikachi. Another Yarikachi. So 2 Yarikachis over here. Another Saber Cab as well. And oh, his Saber Cab is getting smashed as well. That's not good. Did actually took a lot of damage from that Yariki, I suppose, which is a bit of a mistake, because he didn't actually get in time there with his cab, but at least he does get the farmhouse. Oh, with his infantry, I guess. I mean, he didn't get in time, but yeah. Going to be hitting play here and see how things are going to occur. But yeah, Sword Dojo and Farmhouse will be Oleg's, which is going to be a huge thing. He's not going to have the workshop though, which does mean that Chaos Blade's units will be slightly more resilient. Again, extra armor, extra melee defense. It's pretty good against the melee opponent. He's making a mistake here, because he didn't get a single shot off with this red bear, and now it's gonna get destroyed. So quite a heavy micro mistake here by Chaos Blade. No volley. Ooh, that's really bad. And this unit here is useless because it's not firing right now. And Chaos Blade is definitely gonna lose this unit. It is actually starting to fire. There's a Saber Cap charging in here, but it's gonna get wrecked by the Spear Levy there. But oh, this is a bad engagement for Oleg though. Doesn't have the cab numbers necessary to win here, and he also has a Saber Cab instead of Yariki. Yariki's just dismantle Saber Cab. So this engagement over here looks like the Yarikachi of Chaos Blade being used here, but it's not very low morale. He needs to be careful not to shoot in the rear of it. It's concerned. Okay, so the Yariki here of Oleg comes into the lines. This engagement again pretty bad for Oleg because his Saber Cab is getting wrecked, but he does get a nice charge here. And Revolver Cab of Chaos Blade. Got to be careful. Comes the rush here as well. Looks like Chaos Blade's doing fine over there. He's got extra lines, but this is kind of crazy. Again, these cab units need to be pulled out of here. These two specifically, because we've already got 2 units in melee. Like, they have to stop the Shogutai. Like, if these cab units charge the Shogutai, this would be so over by now, but he's not doing that. And the Chaos Blade heavily lost the right flank, it seems. And yeah, again, these cab units are still engaged in melee here. I don't know why they're doing that. They should just let the Yarikachi do what it does best, which is win this engagement. Because the Yarikachi on its own could win that engagement. The cab could be put to so much better use. So I think this could be one of the moves that actually loses Chaos Blade the game. Because he actually didn't use these cab units properly. He just didn't go for the Shogitai. And like this made the lines have to pull back instead of continuing to keep firing. And now they're surrounded. Looks like Shogun Guard Cab coming in. Going to wipe the floor with those units. So yeah, it looks like this game should be over any time now. Looks like these Heartbreakers are engaging. Those Red Bears, they're really not happy with their situation. Oh, what a smash by this Joker. Bam. And here comes Chaos Blade with his general. He's going to try and charge into melee against the Shogitai. But the Shogitai are actually smashing him. They will smash him. Just the general. It's not even like it's not even a proper Bushido general, so it's gonna die even harder. So yeah, everything here is routing for Chaos Blade now, as one would expect. It's funny because like the balance of power is looking very, very weird. To say the least. Like it should. You see, it doesn't actually consider melee units properly in this equation because, I mean, right before that engagement there happened at the end, Chaos Blade had a huge advantage in terms of balance of power, but we all know that like he could not have won that game at that point because he just didn't have enough units. So I don't know, balance of power kind of lied there, to be honest, up until the very end. Well, I mean, at the end it switched over to Chaos Blade and disadvantage, but I mean, he only had like his general left, so there you go. Yeah, that was very, very weird how the balance of power changed. But that being said, again, Chaos Blade made some mistakes. He didn't have proper line positioning there with well, his Red Bears, because they didn't get a volley off before they got charged, so that was really bad. And then some like basically Oleg kept part of his melee line back for a while, which meant that I don't know how many units Chaos Blade was using to defend himself from that attack, but basically he had like 2-3 line units doing nothing as well, which clearly meant that it would, like, that would not go very well for him, because I believe, yeah, he had the Marines there as well, and they were not really shooting anything for a very long time. He could have pushed up his Marines and either forced Oleg to commit his melee units earlier there, or forced them to pull back, which would have been good, because either way, he would actually be using his units to fire, because if he forced Oleg to pull back there, he could turn his lines around and just shoot at whatever units came into contact with his red bears, essentially. The red bear that didn't fire, that's what I'm talking about. And then, of course, like a huge blunder with the 2 saber cav charging into spears instead of the Shogitai. Like, had he gone into the Shogitai with his saber cav, that may have won him the game, because the saber cav would have slaughtered the Shogitai, and then the lines would be free to simply shoot at the incoming cav from the other flanks, and he would have won that basically. But he did not end up winning it, so yeah. That's good. Let's go into game number 2. And here we are with game 2 of the match on rice fields. I was gonna say Kanto Plains, but this is definitely not Kanto Plains. It clearly says that it's rice fields. So let's get into the game. See what Chaos Blade's gonna do to take it back, because that was a... Like, he could have definitely won the first game had he not made some huge blunders, which I guess he probably didn't realize as he was zoomed out. Because nobody would have that engagement going if they actually noticed it in time. But anyway, let's go over compositions. But first, the dojos. Ah yes, the dojos. One thing I love about Shogun 2 that has not actually continued in future titles, because it really helps for there not to be a standstill or people camping in deployment zones or whatever, if there are key buildings that you need to capture on the map. I mean, basically, for those of you who don't know, key buildings, they work like this. So, not only do they provide your army, your entire army that is, with a bonus, a pretty nice bonus at that, well, most of the time, like farmhouse, maybe not so useful in, say, Shogun 2, but you catch my drift. Something like extra attack or extra defense, armor, even reload can be quite nicely, specifically in FOTS. So, while that's all nice and good, what can also happen is that if you personally control all the dojos on the map, there will be a countdown. And essentially, if your opponent does not attempt to retake the dojos, you are going to be the victor of that game, just because you hold the key buildings for a specific amount of time. I can't remember what it was. I think it was 10 minutes though, because yeah, that situation hasn't happened in a while, which is why I mean I like Shogun 2 and Fall of the Samurai because of this. There's a lot more action going on, and people actually try to go for the middle of the map and actually contest map control and not just sit back in deployment, like especially what happens in Warhammer with people bringing artillery and stuff. It's just like, yuck. I totally despise the way that works. Anyway, let's get into the game here, shall we? Slow motion, here we go. Now on the field we have workshop, sword dojo, and I totally forgot about the farmhouse. So, not the best dojos for FOTS, depending on the builds, but let's see. What does Chaos Blade have? Well, he has... where's his general? I cannot find his general. Okay, there he is. So pretty much command gun general here, as you can see. We do see 3 Yari keys on the left flank, all of them vanilla. And then looks like a revolver cap hidden in the forest in the center, and then Yari key and a saber cap over here. Now in terms of lines, he does have a 175 range Tosa in the center. This is quite good to give him the range advantage. He does also have 2 red bears on the right. 2 red bears, actually a red bear and a Royal Marine on the left. Interesting. And Shogun Guard Infantry vanilla along with the Tosa Rifleman. So now if you look at it, he only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 line units. Oh no, he also has a 7th one, this red bear here, which I haven't noticed. But yeah, if you keep that in mind, that means he doesn't really have a lot of line units, so he could potentially be in some trouble because of that. And yeah, in particular, I think this Shogun Guard Infantry vanilla in the center doesn't make much sense. I would have rather picked 2, say, Black Tortoise Force instead of it, because they can cover more ground. Like, you could have had Black Tortoise here and then maybe like another one somewhere else. There's definitely room for extra lines here anyway on this map. Now for Oleg Vadimovich, what do we have? It looks like he's now gone the way of full gun gen. He has a saber cav with his general. Looks like a saber cav on the left flank as well. A revolver cav and another Yari key, well, and the first Yari key on the right flank. Then we do see 2 red bears on the right. An Azure Dragon Force on the left, and in the center, 2 red bears, an Azure Dragon Force, and 2 Marines, a Royal Marine and a US Marine. So there you have it. I suppose he brought the Azure Dragon Force because he simply couldn't bring more red bears. Because red bears are cheaper and they're just better than Azure Dragon Force because, you know, balance. But anyway, let's see how the game is progressing. Looks like at the moment, there's an engagement over here, but Chaos Blade is clearly winning this engagement. And this engagement is a bit more awkward because Chaos Blade is shooting into the forest, but it's not actually into the forest. It's kind of into the forest. And here comes the engagement. Looks like there's an engagement over here. Revolvers are fine. The Archies of Chaos Blade are gonna get into the US Marines. There's more engagements happening over here, but it looks like the Shogun Guard infantry are actually doing significant damage. Revolvers of Chaos Blade pushing forward. This is a very risky thing. The Tosas are doing their work. I don't know what this unit is doing here because Chaos Blade's not gonna do well. Oh, never mind. His opponent pulls back. This engagement over here looks to be going fine for Oleg. Yeah, so that small side of the forest that he's got here is actually giving him a decent shot at winning that. But now this is a huge blob that Oleg has done here, so as long as Chaos Blade shoots this blob, which he isn't, should have shot that blob with his Royal Marines, that would have been brilliant. But I guess that unit was almost done anyway. But this, you can see how fast the game is going. Already this infantry, the Marine of Oleg, is going down the drain. Look, the revolver cab charging in here in melee. Probably ran out of ammo and just destroyed that infantry and Marine. Well, with supporting fire. And this engagement here is not gonna go as well for Chaos Blade. Actually, this red bear is, I mean, it's a red bear against an Azure Dragon Force, but yeah, looks like, yeah, very similar stats because gun gen for Oleg. One thing we have to keep in mind, and the revolver cap gets smashed by the Tosa Rifleman. Revolver cap's still alive. The CRT is gonna go down to this red bear. So yeah, at the moment, really good situation for Chaos Blade. It's really hard to read what's going on here, but he definitely got some proper charges off into the Marines, I think, which is what gave him an advantage here. But yeah, very, very difficult to read what happens in a, I mean, what's happening is happening in this chaotic situation. But yeah, it looks like his Tosas were untouched, which is a very good thing for him. And he had the range advantage and he used it. And now here comes the General of Oleg, only to be slaughtered on the battlefield. He's actually getting hit like crazy and he's not dying. Finally, he died. Ripped enemy general.
I've seen corpses.
I've seen corpses. Okay. Cool, I guess. Never actually heard the units talk like that before, so this game always surprises me positively every once in a while. Quite nice to see, but yeah, Chaos Blade looks like he took a pretty convincing game too, to be honest, and now this is gonna be 1-1. Let's look at the statistics. Oh boy, yeah, the Tosas, the Marines, and the Revolver Cav. Yeah, the Marines didn't do so well for Oleg here because they got charged by cavalry. But yeah, that is game 2, so now it's 1-1. Unfortunately, I am missing the third game, but Oleg won the third game apparently, so he's gonna be up 3, well, not 3, but 2-1 in the series, and it's a best of 7, remember, so he needs to win 2 more games, whereas Chaos Blade needs to win 3, so bit of an uphill struggle here for Chaos Blade, but nothing that's insurmountable. See how game 3 goes. And I said let's see how game 3 goes, I believe, but I meant to say how game 4 goes, because like I said, we missed game 3. Again, 2-1 for Oleg currently in this best of 7 series. Now we are on Waterfalls. Curious to see their army compositions here. As the game loads up, hopefully it'll load up quicker. Alright, here we go. So we are now loaded into the game. In slow motion. Chaos Blade is over here. Oleg is on the other side. Dojos, we have Farmhouse, Shrine, and Resort Dojo over here. So this is going to be the more contested area. And for Chaos Blade, what do we even have here? Let's see. Well. 2 Yariki on the right. Looks like both rank 2. There's a Shogunate Guard Cav here, rank 2 as well. On the left, we've got 2 Yarikis rank 2, a Revolver Cav. Pretty much expected stuff. So yeah, very good Cav force here for Chaos Blade. Pretty standard, except the Shogunate Guard Cavalry. You'd expect that not to be there, but everything else is pretty much the norm. So, there's that. Nothing too special, except the Shogunate Guard Cavalry. Well, it is pretty special. Anyway, let's get past that. What else does he have? He has a Royal Marine here in the center, supported by some Red Bears, 2 Red Bears. One with Suppression Fire, and this one also with Suppression Fire. So that's pretty cool against the melee rush, if that's what Oleg decides to go for. And looks like it is what Oleg decided to go for. But anyway, let's get in the rest of the build of Chaos Blade and see what he's got. Well, some Yarikashis on the field. 2 rank 2. Yes, both rank 2. Red Bear rank 1 here, also with Suppression Fire. Quite a lot of Suppression Fire. And then Chaos Blade, another Red Bear over here. Again, Suppression Fire. Wow. And 2 Yarikis over here, both rank 2. And Shogunate Guard Cav, again, was rank 2. Now, what does Oleg have? Well, he has his Bushido General again. Shogunate Guard Cav rank 6. Again, rank 6 is huge, like, makes that unit extremely expensive. But I guess if you go Shogunate Guard Cavalry, you might as well go big, right? But still, it's a very expensive unit. I wouldn't bring it, personally. Like, if I was super serious. It's hard to make it pay for itself, that's for sure. Especially when there's Revolver Cav in play. And Revolver Cavalry is so popular anyway. So what is actually Oleg up to? So again, he has, looks like Saber Cav Vanilla, Yariki rank 2. More Cav here on the right, 2 Saber Cav. Make that 3 Saber Cav. Wow, the amount of Saber Cav is pretty impressive. That makes 4 Saber Cav and a Yariki rank 2 only. Pretty crazy stuff. Has a Spear Levy over here. Then Melee Force Yarikachi here with another Yarikachi. Again, this one's rank 2. Spear Levy here, already routed thanks to Suppression Fire. More Spear Levies here, and looks like 2 Shogitai with another Yarikachi here. But this charge, I'm not sure about it. Because, let's put it this way. Look at this nice setup here by Chaos Blade. He's got multiple lines, he even has Yarikachis. He's killing this entire flank of Oleg. He's won that Cav engagement because Yariki against Saber Cav. I mean, that's pretty obvious. Making a mistake here with the Revolver Cav. He was a bit late in turning them around, but he does get his Shogunate Guard Cav in here. So they're not going to take that engagement. With some help, though, they definitely will be, but that leaves up this side open to be exploited by Oleg. And Oleg does get with his Yarikis into the Red Bears, but again, it's Red Bears, so they can be quite tough in melee. Here comes this Yariki, which actually should have charged the Shogunate Guard Cav. This is kind of a waste here, charging that Yariki. Then this, obviously, the engagements here are going to be won by Oleg on this side. This one, not really, though. Fierce. Who's got the dojos? Well, Shrine, Chaos Blade, and Sword Dojo, nobody. But these engagements here, this Red Bear is going to be engaged in melee, so that is going to allow the Royal Marines to actually fire. Shogitai here going to get engaged, but Red Bears here do have to pull away. I don't know why they're engaged, because they should have let the... Oh, this is a Revolver Cavalry. I thought it was a melee Cav unit because it was charging. But yeah, it looks like great engagement here for Chaos Blade against the enemy Cav. Because again, it's Saber Cav. Saber Cav does awfully against the Yariki. So you shouldn't really, in most situations, do not send Saber Cav in against Yariki or they'll just get slaughtered. There's another engagement over here. Spear Levy's coming in to do some dirty work. This is a very good use of Spear Levy here, but there's not much left on the field for Oleg here, and he's got some units coming back. But again, frontal rush like that, it's kind of hard to make work through multiple choke points here and stuff. So yeah, now it's gonna be 2-2. So it's even. It's even now. But again, that I would say that was a pretty easy victory for Chaos Blade once again. I mean, definitely had to. Well, he had to do stuff. Like he definitely had to do some micro, but it was not particularly difficult. And yeah, look at the kills on his Marines. 280, 6 stuff. Nothing really from Oleg's side being cost effective. Probably, well, maybe that one Yarikachi that was killing the Yarikachi of Chaos Blade. But yeah, that's about it. So on we go to game number 5. So here we have game 5 on Floodplain. Quite the line of sight blockers on this one, and it may not be apparent at first sight, so you gotta be really careful with this map where you position your line units. One game, do load in game, damn it. It's taking a while though. It is definitely okay. So there we go. We are now loaded into the game. Let's take a look at what's happening here as we are in slow motion, and we're gonna go over the dojos first. We have Farmhouse, Shrine, and of course the Sword Dojo. Shrine here very important. I guess Shrine and Farmhouse will be the 2 most contested dojos, or will they though? Because we have melee rush from Oleg once again, so he's back to his old roots again. Let's see what he's gonna do here now. But first, let's go over Chaos Blade's build. We have, looks like, same kind of general composition here for him. He has command gun general probably here. Then we see, well, actually it's more like gun. Anyway, 2 hierarchies here. Or is it? No, it's more like command gun. My bad. 2 hierarchies here, vanilla, Revolver Cav, 2 hierarchies, 1 vanilla, 1 rank 2. I mean, again, this he omitted the Shogunate Guard Cav, which is fine. That's normally the standard, not to bring a Shogunate Guard Cav, as I mentioned before. But this is bread and butter standard Fots build, looks like, because he does have a Red Bear and a Shogunate Guard infantry on the left. Well, with what else is here? Looks like a Red Bear, Black Tortoise Force. Okay, US Marines, so his 150 range is in the center. Black Tortoise Force, so yeah, he does have the Black Tortoise Force next to the US Marines. Very good choice. Red Bear along with the Shogunate Guard infantry here, which actually has suppression fire. Interesting. And Red Bear here on the right. Vanilla. Now for Oleg, this is gonna be kind of hard to do. Again, Bushido General. Shogunate Guard Cavalry, rank 6. Oh boy, he's still bringing those. Saber Cav here, Vanilla. Yariki, Vanilla there, probably more Cav. Yeah, another Vanilla Yariki over here as well. So yeah, there's definitely things here that Chaos Blade needs to be aware of with line of sight. Okay, rest of Oleg's build. Some looks like Spear Levy, Yarikachi, 2 Shogutai again, Spear Levy, Yarikachi here, and more Yarikachis. More Yarikachis and another Spear Levy. Okay, so there you go. Probably same build as last time. I don't know, but something similar. Anyway, it looks like Oleg does actually get to the shrine first, but Chaos Blade may get there before Oleg does capture them. But now, Oleg is probably gonna end up getting the Sword Dojo here, which is alright. It's not ideal, but it's alright. Okay. Black Taurus Force over here, Shrine over here is not gonna get capped because Oleg is pushing through. But he's kind of pushing through the open area instead of actually going directly through the forest. So the shots are really, really huge on his units. Black Taurus here even getting a lot of kills in this Marine. These are some nice arcs here with the line units that he's got Blade. Ooh, massive shots onto the Yariki as well. Good job by Chaos Blade pulling back over here because he doesn't want to take one of these engagements in the forest. So yeah, this Black Tortoise is going to go down to Shogitai, but it's fine. He's already got a massive advantage because of the amount of cav he's killed. He's going to pull back over here his Black Tortoise force. Meanwhile, this Red Bear is going to continue shelling out those units. Revolver Cav still here. His Yariki is going to die though, but the Shogun Guard Cavalry is charging into this blob and is going to get massacred by the Revolver Cav. That's not good use of Shogun Guard Cav. Goodbye, Shogun Guard Cav. Yarikis here do end up getting into the Red Bears, and they keep another Yariki busy, so that's good use of Yarikis. Gonna be in another engagement here, which Gasplate needs. He needs to get a charge off onto the Saber Cav, but he doesn't realize. He barely does, but his line unit is probably still gonna get charged, just barely. No, they stop because they're engaged by Yariki right now. And it looks like actually Oleg's center is suddenly falling. This is huge. But he still has Revolver Cav. And if you look at it, most of these units are not actually in the best shape. So yeah, Chaos Blades won the left. Again, Yarikis, more Red Bears here. Smashing with that Revolver Cav here. And this Red Bear is absolutely taking it home. He's doing alright here because he's not taking an engagement. But the Shogun Guard Infantry here is not actually being used properly because this is a waste keeping it over here. It should be moving towards the center and supporting there.
Sir,
and yeah, Black Tortoise force looks like he came back, and now his general is being chased by the general of Oleg because it's actually stronger in melee, quite a bit stronger, so it needs to run away, but looks like he'll be able to. So now Chaos Blade can turn around with his general and start firing as well because Oleg stopped chasing him. Revolver Cav is around here. It's actually charging in melee against Shogitai, which I don't agree with because this Red Bear could do that on its own. But I guess probably wanted to save his US Marines, but still kind of need the cav, you know, to block enemy cav
Your
charges.
men are routing, sir.
That's more useful. But let's see what happens to this general here of Oleg. And yeah, the Marines, or rather Shogun Guard Infantry of Chaos Blade, he actually had 2. I didn't even realize that. Wow. So there's an engagement here which Chaos Blade isn't realizing, but these units of Oleg are kind of awkwardly engaging. Is this not in guard mode? Looks like this unit isn't in guard mode because Shogun Guard Infantry is engaging in melee. But at this point it doesn't really seem to matter because Chaos Blade definitely has a superior position in this game. There we go, he's going to turn around and he's going to shoot straight into the General's Haramoto here. Very nicely done by him. Oh boy, look at that general. He's going down rapidly. He's down to 10 men. Yarki's still alive, but I mean the general falling for Oleg is going to mean a massive chain rout. And it's not like Oleg has the numbers to pull off anything here. But definitely this game is becoming a lot closer than I expected to at the beginning. It looked like Oleg just completely lost it. Despite the balance of power, you see, wasn't actually exactly like that, because if there were more melee units, or if he had like extra saber cav or something, he would have crushed this with some nice charges into those lines. But he made some crucial mistakes in the beginning, like moving out through here instead of, say, through the forest or another area of the battlefield, and getting his cav shot without being able to, I mean that, which cannot be explained, like what he did over here with the cav. I mean, I guess he was trying to flank around, which is a good move, but he moved way too close to Chaos Blade's lines and they got shot, which was not good at all, clearly. You don't want to get your cav shot. You want to get your lines shot, if anything. You want to use them as meat shield. But definitely not your cav. The cav's too important to throw away just like that. But it is statistics time, and this does mean Chaos Blade is now on match point because he's up 3-1 in this series now. No, he's up 3-2. I keep forgetting that there's an extra game that we're missing. All right, so Chaos Blade here, nice stats on his Marines, Shogun Guard Infantry, very, very good. This 159. For Oleg, some of his units did really well, like this hierarchy, but other than that, not really. And yeah, let's see what happens in I don't know which game it is right now. Game number 6, probably. Yeah, game 6. See you then. And here we are with game 6 of the match between Castblade and Oleg Vadimovich. It's match point for Castblade. He only needs one more game to win in order to take this this bronze match 42. Whereas Oleg needs to win the next 2 if he wants to be the 3rd place finisher in this tournament. So let's go ahead and put it in slow motion, and hopefully no weird bugs will happen with the replay. I had something strange happen before the last time I loaded it. So hopefully that doesn't happen again, but looks like so far so good. Let's get into it. We have Archery Dojo, Workshop, and Sword Dojo. So I guess people will kind of be going for the Archery Dojo here now. What does Castblade have? Well, it's good old Gun Command Gen. 2 hierarchy here, both rank 2. Good stuff. On the left, 2 hierarchies, both rank 2. What else? What else? On the right, Shogun Guard Infantry. Vanilla with the Red Bear that has Suppression Fire. Interesting. And 2 Yarikachi. Both rank 6. Very interesting. Now in the center we have, looks like a Red Bear with Suppression Fire and a Shogun Guard Infantry also with Suppression Fire. On the left, Red Bear with Suppression Fire and Red Bear with Suppression Fire. Again, so he loves that Suppression Fire. Now what does Oleg actually have on this map? So we see full gun gen over there. 2 hierarchies here, both rank 2 with a revolver cav. On the right, he has another hierarchy rank 2 called Warsaw in Flames. Okay. 2 saber cav, and what else we got here? A single 150 range unit, and also happens to be the one with the elite aura. We have the US Marines here. USSR on fire. Okay. By the way, he refers to the USSR clan, I think, not the actual USSR. Okay, well, 2 white bears on the left flank, and then supporting his US Marines looks like 2 red bears and an Ash Dragon Force over here with more red bears on the right. I would have preferred if he put his 2 white bears in the center with his US Marines and these 2 red bears over here on the left flank, because generally you want to have red bears on your flanks because they are good against melee targets, and that is normally where Cav will attack you. They will attack your flanks, not your center, typically. But anyway, let's see how this game plays out here. Quite interested, but looks like, yeah, Oleg is gonna get to the workshop first. Whereas, I was gonna say Artillery Dojo, but Archery Dojo is gonna be in Castblade's hands. He got there first. Same with the Sword Dojo, so that is actually gonna make quite the difference. I mean, the workshop is nice, but it's no, say, Archery Dojo. So Castblade already in a decent spot, except he's making a huge blunder here with this Shogun Guard Infantry, and he's not even realizing it. Could get shotted by multiple units. There's that unit in the forest. He does get a very nice first volley though, with his own red bear against this white bear, so that's really good for him. But now this Shogun Guard Infantry here, is quite the danger. There we go, that's what I was talking about. The Shogun Guard Infantry taking a lot of damage. No engagements happening over here yet, but yeah, there's something going on. Oh, there we go. Engagement happening here. It's like Red Bear Infantry. Oh, popping the suppression fire now. And here comes the Cav. Poor Castblade. He is committing. He gets into the white bears. He gets into that white bear as well. And now Oleg is a bit late with his cavalry. So now, ooh, there goes Castblade getting into the revolver cav from the flanks, which is the ideal scenario. Because they kind of have to turn around and shoot you. There's already the revolver cav is routed, and that's really bad for for Oleg. And he's Oleg is losing all of these units. Oh, but he got a nice charge off with Saber Cap into the Shogun Guard Infantry. But here comes Revolver Cap to save the day. And this engagement here is going to be won by Chaos Blade as well. And he's going to have to continue pushing on forward. Ooh, he's going to have to charge into that Saber Cap uphill. And that's going to be hard for Chaos Blade to push through. He definitely has more Yarikachis coming around. And he's not really using his general right now, which is a mistake. But he's going to send in more cabinets. Oh, this US Marine is not going to make it. Roller Cap here, not the best use of it though. And I get that he wants to kill that red bear, but I mean, I guess it's alright. But he could have used it to go for the general instead. Because you saw this Yaraki's already busy there, so that would have been better. There we go, Yarikachi's over here will definitely kill that Saber Cav. Oleg still got some Yarikis over there. Gold Cav still pulling back because he doesn't want to get shot at by those lions, for instance. On this side, this is a tough one to call. But with the archery dojo that is in Chaos Blade's hands, he should win those ranged engagements. Yes, he definitely is. Shogun Guard Infantry here getting some nice flanking shots off into the red bears. Shirakashi here is gonna rout soonish. Oh, but here comes the Revolver Cap from Chaos Blade going to smash General of Oleg. Here they come. They're even gonna charge in melee. I don't know about this. They definitely had more ammo, so they could have just shot him down. Or did they? I don't know. They may not have enough ammo. But they could definitely refill because they had the archery dojo. But I guess he just wanted to finish off Oleg, and he definitely did here. That is going to be game. And oh, there you go. Looks like we don't actually get the battle results. There's a different bug than the one I was experiencing. I actually had like some glitch where I couldn't move the camera and the screen was all like weird. So yeah. Anyway, that is the game and match. Chaos Blade takes it 4-2. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe. Follow me on social media. I'll see you all next time.